Welcome back to Atlascraft. This is Pursuit. Pursuit is a game for 5 players. You have 4 survivors and a hunter. The objective is for the survivors to, well, survive. They will be given keys, 1 to every single area. 1 key will lead to the next key, that will lead to the next key, and eventually you will get the key that will lead you to the central tower, which is your way out. The hunter's goal is to kill the remaining survivors. Once the hunter kills all the survivors, he can then use the exit to get out. The areas that the survivors will have to play through are as follows. You have the jungle and its dense maze. You have the burnt ruins. You have the Oceanic Research Laboratory. The Volcano of Doom. And you have the future. Wait, hold on. Let's see your paper. Research lab, volcano, thick jungle, futures to district yet to be. Oh, okay. Well, this was technically called the Futuristic District, but it's not called that anymore. But we're going to call it that for the terms of this. Upon starting every single match, each survivor will be given a key. The keys look like this. Now, I know what this number means, and Emerald knows what this number means, but you don't. What this does is it guides you to a very specific location in the maze, where you throw the key on the ground, the maze recognizes it, sucks it up, and gives you a new key. That key leads you to the next key, and so on until you've been to all 4 areas. The last key is your way out. Now, as I stated, there are 5 teams. You have orange, purple, blue, green, and then the hunter, which is a black. Every team member must put their armor in a chest. Armor, weapons, they have to empty their inventory entirely, because when you start the game, you will have all items stripped from you. So we're going to hit the button. And the door opens. Now every single player has their own room. They go in the room, they close the door, and they look at the map. This is the arena. They walk across the pressure plates, and then the doors open. However, you're noticing the door is not opening, and that's because I have this in my inventory. If players have anything in their inventory, the doors do not open. You throw the item away, you walk across the pressure plates. It still doesn't open. Why? Because there's a detection radius. If it's anywhere in this room, these doors do not open. So now I've gotten rid of the compass. I can walk up and it opens up. I fall down and this is what the players see. They come down here and they have this nice, beautiful pathway. This area above you is where the hunter is. The hunter is a very, very specific scenario. Players or survivors start with no armor, no weapons, no items, and it's very important that they leave everything in the chest outside, because at the beginning and end of every single game, your entire inventory is wiped, and this is to prevent survivors from carrying inventory from one game to the next game, giving them an unfair advantage. The hunter is the exception to this rule, because in that chest behind me, in the hunter area, is a chest of items. The hunter does start with a handful of pieces of armor, weapons, gears, and a couple of potions that do some very interesting things. So the hunter comes in here, closes his door, walks to the pressure plate, and this hallway opens up. Comes through here, sets his spawn point, and look at this. The chest has got items in it. Some potatoes, some food, some arrows, a knockback stick with sharpness on it, crossbow with Bianca, handful of arrows, and some boots. So the boots, very stealthy boots with splash potion revealing. Now the very stealthy boots are very interesting, because you would think that the hunter would have an unfair advantage, and they do to a certain degree, especially since when you put on these boots, you become almost completely invisible except for the boots. You're saying, but that's not fair. The hunter has weapons, armor, and he's invisible. How is this even fair? Well, the players have a 2-minute head start. Not only do the players have a 2-minute head start, they have 2.5 minutes of saturation. They're basically invulnerable for the first 2 minutes. Let's say for the moment that you're a player. How do you protect yourself from someone who actually has quite a bit of armor and weapons and can find you and is invisible? Well, scattered around the world, there are barrels like this one. In each barrel is a random number of things: coins, food, armor, sometimes weapons. Is on the right side here, you see my coin counter. Right now it says 0. So pick up the coins, put them in inventory, and it disappears. Everything vanishes. And now I have 5 coins. Well, that's fascinating. So what do you do with the coins? Well, in the Center Plaza, in the yet-to-be-named futuristic district that is not actually futuristic district, I'll figure it out later, is this store. Now, this store is fascinating because you can take the coins you have gathered from all the different barrels and chests and come in here and buy weapons and armor on both sides. There's food, golden apples, which is crazy. Over here, there are weapons. Weapons can be arrows, spectral arrows. Spectral arrows are very interesting because, and very expensive, because if you shoot the hunter with them, everyone on the map can see him, and everyone knows where he is. It makes the hunter very, very vulnerable. So over here is the hunter shop, but the hunter is not allowed to loot coins. So what good is the hunter shop? Well, if you're carrying coins as a player, and the hunter kills you, you get their coins. And in the hunter shop, there are more items and weapons. I'm not going to show that because I don't want to spoil everything. It's kind of interesting. But there is a caveat to this. If you are killed by a mob as a player, you lose your coins. If the hunter gains coins by killing a player and is killed by anyone or anything, including mobs, he also loses all of his coins. So if a hunter manages to kill a couple of people and not spend his coins, depending on how much he has, and then he gets killed by anything, he's just out. That means he has to spend more time going back and forth between different areas in order to actually be able to spend his coins. Now, that is really, really a lot. So the hunter has one more trick up his sleeve that he can get access to. If you'll notice, these boots say very stealthy, but they do one more thing. They allow you to jump 1.5 blocks. Now, this is important because scattered around the area, there are teleport pads that only the hunter can get to. This makes him more of a threat, and this is on purpose, because if you're stuck in the research lab and you use your splash potion revealing, which what this does is it puts fireworks up over everyone's head and allows you to see him for 30 seconds. If everyone's on this side of the map, there's no way you're going to catch up. You are at a distinct disadvantage. So the way we compensated for this is there are teleport pads scattered around the arenas that only the hunter can get to. This is one such teleport pad. It's a little out of the way, all players get access to it, but normal players can't get to this. If I take these boots off, I can't jump up this pad. But if I put them on, I can. Now, I have the hunter boots on, and I'm up here, but the platform doesn't work. It doesn't work because, again, I'm on the orange team. I'm not the hunter. This doesn't work for me as a player. So we're back at the beginning here. These two teleport pads, these two buttons, take you into the teleport room, which is right here. So there's one for every single area, and all of them are kind of out of the way, with the exception for the one in the central area. We decided that was probably best that because all the players can get to this area very, very quickly, that this one needed to be somewhere accessible very quickly. But none of these are in spots that is going to be easy for the hunter to get to or away from. Now let me take those things off. That's just silly. So the hunter can teleport across the map, but the location he gets teleported to is not always optimal. There are going to be cases where it's going to be exactly what he needs, and it's going to put him exactly where he needs to go. But more times than not, he's going to have a little bit of difficulty finding things. Now, this is meant to balance out the fact that the hunter starts with weapon, and the fact that the players have a 2-minute head start out of the gate and start with saturation, which the hunter does not. And so far in playtesting, this system seems to work pretty well. All areas, all zones are connected one way or another. This is a subway tunnel that takes you into the volcanic area. That is a tunnel that takes you into the jungle area. Over here is a tunnel that takes you into the ruins. And here is a tunnel that takes you into the underwater research laboratory. So all players will have access to all zones across the board. Because your first key might take you to the jungle, but the second one might take you to the research laboratory. And we didn't want you to have to go through the volcano or the ruins to get to the underwater laboratory. After you've collected all 4 keys and you've got the last one, you come to the central plaza, to the central area, to this monstrous menace of a building. You run inside and you run up all these stairs. These stairs are deliberately precarious because if you have the hunter chasing you, you have the option or opportunity to either kick the hunter or other players off the platform and kill them to give yourself more time. And you come up all the way up here, and this is your end goal. This is your end platform. When the game is finished, you will have a timer of your color. In my case, I'm orange. That will appear on the screen. It will start at 60 and will count down. If it gets to 0, then you win and you float away to freedom. When win conditions have been met, this platform has a lovely effect that Emerald added to it. And it's different for every single team and player. It looks something like this for the hunter. That is spectacular, I gotta say. Did it double because I walked into it?
Nope. I can make it double.
No, don't do that. There's only one hunter anyway.
Well, we can change that.
We can change that. Hunter kills someone, they become a hunter. Maybe that's a game mode we add later.
Conversion infection.
Conversion infection, I like it. Pretty freaking spectacular. If, however, a hunter or another player steps in this with you, your timer stops. If you get kicked out by the hunter and he kills you, your timer can be larger. It can go up to 120. So there's a certain amount of benefit here of working with people because the hunter is going to be very well armed and you want to keep him dead, and gearing up and working together to keep him out of the way is very beneficial. Because if any of you die to the hunter, you're carrying coins, you lose the coins. That makes the hunter that much more powerful. So to a certain extent, you want to work together, but only one of you can actually win. And this is where games are won and lost, is this room and this platform right here. I have been the hunter 3 times and lost because other players ganged up on me and killed me. The reverse is also true. I have killed other players and managed to win as the hunter by myself. Not with any type of anything easy at all. But this is Pursuit. This has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of time. And these are the rules. I have about an hour and a half worth of footage of where we did some test runs with a couple of Emerald's friends. And we worked out a couple of the kinks. I am trying to edit something together because it was actually quite a bit of fun, and it's actually really funny. I am struggling with both the footage and the replay mod footage because there's a lot to sort through. I will hopefully get that up here in sometime the next couple of days amongst my other recording schedule that is now publicly known. I'm considering putting this whole map on Planet Minecraft and seeing if I can't get a bunch of people in here to play with us, because this has been a lot of work and a lot of fun, and I would like to continue to join this for quite some time. I hope to see you here soon and we can play this together and have a great time. Bye bye now.